Right now at 5, the father of the ALCS shooter appears in court. We're live with the latest updates after today's hearing.
Wisconsin lawmakers are discussing the state budget, the current process after Republicans cut most of the governor's plans.
Plus, it's a busy weekend in downtown Madison, how one business owner is capitalizing on the big events. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 5. Live from Madison, I'm Sarah Carlson.
Thank you for your help today. Filling in today for Eric Franke, and I'm Susan Simon. We begin with continuing coverage following the case against the father of the Abundant Life Christian school shooter.
Our Maddie Heimsch joins us live from outside of the Dane County Courthouse with that update. Maddie.
Jeffrey Rupp now appeared in court today for his initial appearance, where his bail was set for $20,000 for those 3 felony charges he's facing. It's 2 counts of giving a dangerous weapon to a minor resulting in death and 1 count of contributing to child delinquency. Rupp now made his appearance via Zoom from jail. He was arrested Thursday morning just before 4 a.m. And District Attorney Ismail Ozan in the courtroom today, calling the case unprecedented.
There was no other person who knew the child better than the defendant. His actions and lack of judgment here contributed to the fate.
If Rupp now does get out on bail, he's ordered to have no contact with the Abundant Life Christian School. He's also not to purchase or possess any guns. This comes just a day after the criminal complaint revealed that he kept several firearms in a safe in his home, largely available to his daughter. Now, there was 1 victim in attendance at today's hearing. Rupp Now's status conference is scheduled for June 9th. Reporting live in downtown Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
All right, thank you, Maddie. In other news now, a Reedsburg man is in custody after police say they found drugs and a gun inside his vehicle. Officers stopped the 21-year-old on Viking Drive around 2 in the morning. Police say a search of his car found a loaded gun and cocaine. The man is facing several tentative charges, including operating while under the influence, carrying a concealed weapon, and possession of cocaine.
The man linked to the arrest of a Milwaukee County judge appeared in court this week in a deportation case. Federal authorities allege Eduardo Flores Ruiz avoided arrest by ICE with Judge Hannah Dugan's assistance. The judge granted Flores Ruiz's attorneys a request to withdraw from a separate case involving multiple battery charges. Flores Ruiz's appearance was waived in the county courtroom since he is in federal custody.
And I would highlight that among the reasons for that is that this need for a new lawyer is not based on any conduct of Mr. Ruiz.
A few hours later, Flores Ruiz appeared in federal court after being indicted by a grand jury. The 30-year-old pleaded not guilty to illegally re-entering the United States.
Under weather now, it looks like temperatures in the 70s will return to the Madison area this weekend.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Yes, we're out here on the patio, and it's gorgeous out here on the patio. It's going to be tough for me to come back inside and do Maine weather, but boy, do I have a treat for you. You're going to want to tune in to Maine weather because I have a helper that's going to help with the 10-day forecast. Right now, Saturday, there's the 70s that you were saying, Sarah and Susan. Mid-70s, if not upper 70s, sunny skies, light winds, and then let's go into Mother's Day. Happy early Mother's Day from me to you. We got 77 for high temperature. It'll be a mild weekend. Light winds. I always emphasize light winds in the springtime is always a treat. We're up to 70. We went for a high of 69, so that's okay that we're up a degree. Probably few complaints here. Low to mid 70s across all of southern Wisconsin. In fact, now up to 74 to the west in Cross Plains and on the other side of the Wisconsin River in Sauk City. Tonight, we'll dip down into the 60s by 9 o'clock. Light winds, if you're going to be out and about, maybe you just need a light jacket, if that. Probably short sleeve shirts would still be okay. Then you put the light jacket on if maybe you're taking the dog out for a late night stroll with temperatures in the upper 50s. We got warmer temperatures on the way to southern Wisconsin. We've got 80s in the forecast, and you might be wondering if you're a gardener or a farmer. We just had our frost chances last night. When's the next chance for water? We'll do that in Maine weather, and again, a special treat when we do the 10-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. In the Wisconsin state capitol, the state budget process is moving forward.
We could actually see new numbers coming out next week. Political reporter Will Keneally is here with more. Will?
Well, on this week's For the Record, we sat down with the head of the Legislative Fiscal Bureau. Now, these are the financial experts that help lawmakers craft the state budget. Now, they also create some estimates. For example, how much money Wisconsin is taking in and how much we know to spend. Now, we could see an updated figure on how much Wisconsin is collecting next Tuesday.
Historically, regardless of party, governors have used our numbers, as has the legislature, regardless. On May 15th, coming up in a couple of days, we will revise our numbers, our January numbers that the governor's budget was based on.
All right, so why this is important? Republican lawmakers want to pass a tax cut before the state budget gets finalized. Now, these numbers we'll get on Thursday can help Wisconsin figure out how much of a tax cut the state can afford. Now, as part of a larger discussion, and you can see more from our interview coming up this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record.
All right, thank you, Will. In other news, U.S. trade talks with China are scheduled to begin for the first time since the trade war began. The U.S. Treasury Secretary arrived in Geneva, Switzerland, ahead of high-stakes talks tomorrow with officials in China. President Donald Trump hinted on social media that he's open to lowering tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% to 80%. However, White House officials cautioned change depends on the outcome of these talks.
Not going to unilaterally bring down tariffs on China. We need to see concessions from them as well. And again, that's part of the reason that Secretary Besson is going to talk to his Chinese counterparts this weekend.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration says there may be 3 new trade deals announced at the White House soon.
This week, the Department of Education is once again trying to collect federal student loans that are in default. According to the department, more than 5 million borrowers are in default, and 4 million additional borrowers are in late-stage delinquency. The Student Debt Crisis Center says there are ways to know if you're in default, and there are steps you can take to get out.
StudentAid.gov. That is going to be your North Star as a student loan borrower to see what program you're in, how far in repayment you are.
The nonprofit adds that you can look into loan consolidation to halt the default process. There is also default rehabilitation, which pulls the loan out of a default status, and borrowers can pay as little as $5 for 9 months.
U.S. troops who claim to not identify with their birth gender have only a few weeks now to turn in their uniforms. The Pentagon released a memo setting a departing deadline of June 6th for these active service members to voluntarily leave. It is July 7th for those in reserve. Now, troops who voluntarily separate from the military will receive twice their separation pay, but after those dates, involuntary separation begins.
Retired Supreme Court Justice David Souter has died. He made it to the High Court in 1990 after being nominated by then-President George H.W. Bush. Souter served for nearly 2 decades before retiring in 2009. In a statement, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts said Souter, quote, brought uncommon wisdom and kindness to a lifetime of public service. David Souter was 85 years old.
According to a new study, the Shingles vaccine may also lower the risk of heart disease and stroke. A new South Korean study of more than 1 million people was published in the European Heart Journal. The analysis found a 23% lower risk of cardiovascular disease among those who were vaccinated for shingles.
Well, graduation and Mother's Day make for a very busy weekend in downtown Madison.
That is for sure. Our Ellie Liberté introduces us to one business owner who's making the most of it.
What better way to celebrate a milestone than with a card? A handwritten note for a heartfelt congratulations or a thank you for being my mom. And for Laura Comay, a card is more than a piece of paper.
It's always really rewarding.
It's a piece of art.
My sister and I design items.
The gifts she designs, she also sells at her store, Anthology, in downtown Madison. And this weekend, there are plenty of reasons for a card.
We spend the whole year collecting cards for Mother's Day. This is probably the biggest card weekend for us of the whole year.
Thursday alone, she sold 378, which she thinks may break a record. Many other businesses on State Street could break records of their own.
This is one of the busiest weekends of the year in downtown.
Jason Ilstrup is the president of Downtown Madison, Inc.
Graduation weekend brings a millions of dollar impact to the businesses in downtown, which are 85% locally owned. These are our neighbors that are really benefiting from this money coming in from all across America into our downtown.
People from all over, like the Kearney family.
We are getting ready to go to my brother's graduation. He's graduating from the University of Wisconsin Business School today.
For that milestone, maybe a card.
We're a small business, but to have a part in, people's relationships and the connections that they make with each other.
Reporting downtown Madison, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Well, still to come, boy, the graduates and moms won the weather lottery this weekend. Alex will tell us about the warm weekend ahead.
And Pope Leo XIV holds his first Mass, how Catholics and his own family members are reacting to his election. And on Wall Street today, it was a bad end of the week for the markets. The Dow dropping 119 points, the Nasdaq up by almost 1, and the S&P 500 dropping by 4. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. Pope Leo XIV, the first pontiff born and raised in the U.S., led his first Mass as the new leader of the Catholic Church this morning.
Tina Kraus has the latest from the Vatican.
As he celebrated Mass for the first time since becoming pontiff, Chicago-born Pope Leo XIV spoke briefly in English to the cardinals who elected him.
Through the ministry of Peter, you have called me to carry that cross and to be blessed with that mission. And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me.
The Mass was held in the Sistine Chapel, the same sacred space where just a day before he spent his last moments as Cardinal Robert Prevost, before cardinals handed him the helm as the first ever pope from the United States.
If only the rest of us in our lives and in the world could have that mad dash to unity that we seem to have in the conclave.
His election surprised even his own brother.
It was like, oh my God, it's Rob. It's never going to be the same. What are we going to do? Oh, yes, it's Rob. Yeah.
The mood has shifted here in St. Peter's Square nearly 3 weeks after Pope Francis passed. People tell me their hearts are full as a new era dawns.
I hope this new Pope is also can be the same or better.
You said your heart feels better?
Yes, it feels complete again.
Leo will be formally installed as Pope at a Mass on May 18th and will preside over his first general audience a few days later. Tina Kraus, CBS News, the Vatican.
And we're starting to get a few glimpses of what kind of Pope Leo is going to be. Like Pope Francis, he chose not to wear the red loafers preferred by traditionalist popes, instead choosing simple black shoes. And he also chose to spend his first night as Pope in his residency instead of the Apostolic Palace.
Well, Villanova, Pennsylvania is buzzing with excitement over the new Pope. Bells on the campus rang for hours when Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost was named the new head of the Catholic Church. Prevost graduated from Villanova back in 1977 with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. Since then, he's maintained a strong connection to the university and students.
I think I've always been proud to be a Villanovan, but now even more so. It's so exciting, and I think you can just feel the energy on campus.
Pope Leo XIV was awarded an honorary doctorate of humanities from Villanova back in 2014.
Well, speaking of graduates, welcome home, Badger grads, for UW graduation coming up tomorrow, and the weather could not be better for that and for Mother's Day.
Yeah, we have Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joining us now with how long this warmth will stick around.
It's going to stick around all the way really through all of next week. Gorgeous weekend ahead. I'm very excited about this forecast. Outside of a stray shower tonight, now all the way through the weekend is going to be dry. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be warm out there, and even mild tonight. Lows in the lower 50s. Might want to crack the window open just a little bit. Light winds out there. These 50-degree temperatures, this is what we would see in later May, not early May. How about 74 on for size? Baraboo, Madison, Janesville. Then we got a 75 in Monroe, 75 in Camp Douglas, and out towards Viroqua, pushing near 80 degrees as we go into Saturday afternoon. And then we have this front that's coming through tonight here. I just want to acknowledge, if you happen to be out and about, there may be a couple clouds and a passing few sprinkle or two as we go towards 10, 11 o'clock tonight. And then that's it. Then we dry out for the rest of the weekend. And fast forward here, happy Mother's Day from me to you early, although I'll be doing the Sunday morning show, so you'll get to see me again. Wishing you happy Mom's Day. We've got 77. Try that on for size there. Sunny skies and light winds. I just keep emphasizing that because in the spring, it's not uncommon to have warm temperatures and windy conditions. And this time, we're going to have warm temperatures and light winds, at least all the way up through Monday, probably going into Tuesday and Wednesday. But the winds are going to pick up on Thursday. It's going to usher even warmer air in. You'll want to join me at the 6 o'clock newscast. I'll show you how the shower and thunderstorm activity is going to pan out as this warm weather moves in. And even as we cool on down next weekend, those temperatures are still a little bit above normal. I bumped up those rain chances now here, pushing up towards that scattered category Tuesday afternoon and again Thursday afternoon as we have a cold front that's going to be coming in to southern Wisconsin. Again, 6 o'clock newscast. I'll show you Tuesday shower and storm chances with future track Wednesdays and Thursdays as well. Beautiful temperatures out there right now. We got 70 degrees here in Madison, lower 70s off towards the north and west. And here in Dane County, we got 70 to 73 to 74. Maybe take dinner outside or a night to grill as we plan those temperatures. Gorgeous evening all the way through and through, upper 50s by the end of the evening. Now, I'm going to step over here because we've got a new addition to the First Warn Weather Team, bringing on meteorologist Ian. Ian, what's your last name?
McAuliffe.
Welcome to the team. How does it feel to be part of the First Warn Weather Team?
Good.
Good. And you're going to help me out here with our forecast. Let's look at some of these numbers here. So high of what on Mother's Day?
77.
77. And Tuesday's an important day. Why?
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. And how warm is it going to be on your birthday?
Also 77.
77 degrees. Good for you. And the warmest day of the week up here is going to be which day?
Thursday.
Thursday. And we see this thunderbolt there. What do you think that means?
Thunderstorm.
We're probably going to have some thunderstorms on Thursday. Some of those storms could be on the strong side, Ian. Hopefully that's not the case. But we're going to sneak off this way. You're going to come over here with me, and I'm going to show one more pretty picture here, southern Wisconsin. Thanks, Ian. He's our latest addition to the First Warn Weather Team. And thanks, Peggy, for this pretty picture as we round out from Blue Mountains, a morning sunrise. Scan that QR code if you want to send us your weather photos, and then we can show them on air. Thanks so much again, Ian, for helping me out with the forecast.
Ian, you're hired.
Exactly.
Well
Great.
done, my friend.
Great job.
This will be a day he will never forget with his buddy Alex. So when we come back at 5, a baby boy comes home just in time for Mother's Day. His remarkable recovery after a liver transplant. That's next.
News 3 Now at 5.
Just in time, a 3-month-old baby gets to go home for Mother's Day after becoming one of the youngest recipients of a liver transplant conducted in the U.S.
Danya Backus has his remarkable story.
Never even gotten to do this before.
Lena and Kevin Fromm
This is exciting.
are preparing for the moment they've waited more than 90 days for.
Today feels like maybe too good to be true.
After a normal pregnancy, their son Banner was diagnosed with gestational autoimmune liver disease, which led to acute liver failure at birth. After treating him with medications and dialysis, to save his life, doctors recommended a liver transplant.
How rare is it to perform a transplant or even consider a transplant for a baby like Banner?
It's extremely rare. There's been less than 20 of these cases ever done in the United States out of some 20,000 pediatric liver transplants.
Dr. Kambiz Etasami is the surgical director of liver transplant at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Banner was 15 days old when he received a liver from a deceased adult donor.
We basically cut the liver into a larger and a smaller half. And in Banner's case, we had to even take the smaller half and cut it down even further to try and fit it into his belly. It has the ability to regenerate. And so it will continue to develop and grow with his body.
After a long 2.5 months of recovery, Banner will be able to spend Mother's Day at home.
It just feels like such a gift that without transplant and all these things, so like if this was a long time ago, he wouldn't have made it and we wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to celebrate Mother's Day happily.
His parents have a checklist of all his medications.
Sodium chloride.
And with one final farewell from the nurses and medical team who cared for him, Banner and his parents take the much anticipated ride as a family of 3.
We're gonna go home.
Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Oh, buddy, modern medicine is miraculous,
Unreal.
isn't it?
I know, I'm tearing up.
We both are. Banner will continue to be under the watchful eye of his medical team with multiple doctor's visits each week.
But he is expected to develop as normal with his transplanted liver. What a Mother's Day present, right?
To remember, yep.
And we'll have a final check with the weather when we come back.
Coverage as the father of the ALCS student makes his first appearance in court. That's straight ahead at 6.
And now we have Alex with a final check on our forecast. It could not be better, really.
It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff because we have warm temperatures for the graduation this weekend, warm temperatures for Mom's Day. If you want water, we got that in this 10-day forecast as well. As early as Tuesday afternoon, some pop-up showers and thunderstorms that could get some folks wet. And then we have another chance of showers and thunderstorms, better chance Thursday going on into Thursday afternoon, going into the evening. The First Warn Weather Team, we're going to be keeping an eye on that weather system on Thursday. Our weather models are currently in agreement that they could be coming through right at that prime time, the evening hours when we're the warmest, and a little bit on the humid side. We could be looking at a strong storm or two on Thursday. And then our event in Stoughton Saturday looks like it's going to be the pick of the upcoming weekend for Set and Demai.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's coming up.
Forgot about that,
Already.
too. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you back here at 6.